Letting your laptop toast your uterus is like free birth control. Never using a girl's laptop again. Girl, where do you think the uterus is? Honestly though, this does actually remind me of when I was in school, and something we were told, at least the boys were told, was that you should never have a laptop on your lap, at least not without a barrier between you and the laptop, because it can make you infertile. Is that true? Is that just one of those myths that we were told as kids about mistrusting technology, or is that true? Like, I assume it was to do with the heat, but like, I don't know, my MacBook, for example, doesn't run hot, like, but also, you know, make me infertile, please. Please, God. This video brought to you by my YouTube members and patrons. Thank you, guys. How's it going, everybody, and welcome back to another subreddit video. And today we are going to be returning once again to r/badwomensanatomy. It has been a little while since I looked at this subreddit, and safe to say that the posts there don't get better. People are not learning. It seems like we're going the wrong direction, in fact. But very quickly before we begin, I just wanted to mention that, as always, I will be live over at my Twitch at 7 PM UK time today. That's 2 hours after this video goes up. So please do consider going over there. It's always a good time. I always enjoy it. And also, YouTube members and patrons, you guys get an extra video every single week for as low as £1 a month. That equates to about 25p per video. So please do consider that if you would like to. Other than that, let's get into the subreddit, shall we? My pastor said we only cover women's breasts in public because God made the areolas to appear like eyes to ward off predators. Since women usually have larger ones, this can cause panic and fear in horses. So, the horses at the end there was a real curveball. I mean, so assumedly he's saying that the domestication of horses is the reason that, you know, women cover their breasts, right? Because otherwise they'll spook the horses that have been domesticated. No, what? Nipples were not meant to look like eyes. That's not to ward off predators. No. So I can kind of understand the line of reasoning a little bit, right? Because it does exist in nature quite a lot that animals have eyes, you know, on the backs of their heads or in other places to ward off predators, because predators think that something is looking at them and therefore it won't be an easy mark for them to hunt. But they're on the front, so it's not like, you know, they're on your back and a predator's gonna see them and go, "Oh, never mind, can't attack that because they're on the back." Like, no. Because also the other thing is nips that, like, even pretty big nips don't tend to be like bigger than eyes, you know? They're not that big. Like, they can be, don't get me wrong, and if you have nipples and areolas that are that big, then that's totally normal, but like they're not to ward off predators and they're not gonna spook horses. Also, the existence of clothes and wearing clothes to cover up has existed long before we domesticated horses, because it was a method of exposure prevention than anything else, you know, preventing yourself from burning in the sun or from freezing in the cold. It wasn't about horses. I'm not saying I won't get there, but the vagina is an organ of cosmic horror. A sweet, pretty, slender girl hides something Lovecraftian between her legs. Hot, hungry, oddly askew. In a world of seahorses and peacocks and delicate moths, our Lord gave her a viper's open jaws. Just admit you like femboys, dude. It's okay. So, for anybody that doesn't know, this guy is supposedly a straight convert. You know, a gay person that was converted to being straight. But he's really not making a good case for himself, is he? Let's be real here. He's basically outright saying, I prefer peepees. I prefer peens. Which, you know, trans women, they have peens, unless they go through surgery, of course. So, you know, ultimately, he can still be attracted to women. But come on, he's not making a good case for himself, is he? Really? Also, I guarantee that no one who, you know, claims to be converted to being straight from being gay accepts the legitimacy of trans people existing. So, you know, real life accident. A guy friend confidently and incorrectly told me, a woman, that vaginas are on the front of the pelvis, just like a penis. He is 26. I don't have a photo because it was word of mouth. I'm shooketh. Men who think vaginas are on the front like a penis. How do we tell him? It's pretty much all in the title. When I corrected him, he went, "Oh, you see, it's really hard to know because those medical diagrams in school do not explain it well. The education system in the US has failed us. Also, I'm gonna be that guy. It's pretty evident from porn where it is. You know, the UK trying to crack down on porn, making it so that you need to show photo ID to prove that you can watch it, which is just insane. I don't trust any company to hold that data safely, regardless of who you are. Although I do find it funny that you can use a sim, you can use a picture of a sim to trick it. Anyway, I'm going off track. Yeah, there's ways of knowing that are outside of the school education system is what I was trying to say there. I don't know why you post about your period. It's disgusting to talk about that so openly. Men don't need to hear about such an unnatural thing. Not sure why period is in quotation marks. I'm disgusting then, and a period isn't unnatural. It's literally Mother Nature happening with women. I put it like that because it's not even a real thing. Women just say it happens to complain about life. False? Just demonstrably, objectively wrong. We have, you know, irrefutable scientific proof that it exists. I'm pretty sure if the entirety of women everywhere had just made this up and everyone agreed that it was made up, like all women agreed on this lie so that they could complain about it, we would have some scientific evidence supporting that claim. Because let's be honest, medical science throughout history, rarely exactly on women's sides, is it? You'd have someone claiming that it's fake and supplying evidence because, oh, I hate women, I do. Which, you know, we don't have, because that one is demonstrably fully a real thing. Hopefully this helps whoever may need it. How to spot a deep fake Tesla. The angle formed between the upper arm, humerus, and forearm ulnar radius when the arm is extended and supinated. On average, women tend to have a larger carrying angle compared to men. Straight arm, angled arm. Easy indicator, anatomy doesn't lie. If her lower arm is straight and not sort of a flared out in an L shape, that means you got a boyfriend, dude. Be safe, kings. Your boy Rich. So transvestigation will never fail to just be the most inaccurate thing ever. Because what the fuck? They'll go to any lengths to claim that they're being, you know, attacked and the trans people are everywhere, when the reality is that they're mentally ill. They're suffering from acute paranoia that they believe that, you know, oh, all of these women around me are actually men. Oh my god, they're everywhere. Like, no, dude, you're just paranoid. But also, I saved the posts in the perfect order for this one because the next post is someone on TikTok. It's a woman on TikTok who said, because I bring a six-pack everywhere I go, notice that her arm, the one that's down, is down straight, not bent, because it's a bullshit fact. But regardless of that, this one is a bad women's anatomy because of the comment that says, that's so unhealthy to get a six-pack. You have to get rid of the unnatural healthy needed fats to protect your womb. No, that's not true at all. The womb is situated behind and above the bladder. So the fat at the front, not really gonna have that much change in protecting the womb. But also, if fat is there to protect the womb, then muscle, which is denser than fat, would protect it better because there would be less chance of the womb being harmed if receiving an impact, because fat, squishy, that's just gonna take it straight to your organs. Muscle, that's gonna protect them. So, you know,
imagine you have a knife and a jar of peanut butter and a jar of jelly. You stick the knife in both. One of the jars has a disgusting mixture of the two, while the other doesn't. Hopefully, the knife is rinsed off.
So, in your metaphor, if a guy sleeps with two chicks without taking a shower in between, the second one is sullied?
The jar of peanut butter or jelly is always soiled. Doesn't really matter about the knife in this. It's having too many knives that matters.
So they can't even keep their own analogy accurate. So he's saying that you use one knife on a jar of peanut butter and jam, one of the two is gonna get sullied. If you rinse it between, that won't happen, but that's not part of his analogy. Equally, he then said it doesn't really matter about the knife, it's having too many knives that matters. But if you use two knives, they're not gonna mix. There's no mixing involved if you use two knives. The analogy doesn't make sense. sense. He can't keep his own analogy straight. That's not how things work. Also, it's an organ that cleans. So you have two people, you sleep with two people, or a guy sleeps with two women. You know what's gonna happen? It's gonna clean itself out. It's not gonna fucking matter. Also, women shower. Like, no. A man named Igor Charkovsky assisted in over 20,000 underwater births. Eventually, he began experimenting with women giving birth in the ocean. In 1979, when preparing with his team for an underwater birth in the Black Sea, in a few feet of water, suddenly 3 dolphins approached the pregnant woman, pushed everyone out of the way and took over. They scanned the length of her body up and down with sonar, while relaxing the mother and swimming in circles around her. The mother gave birth to the child effortlessly, painlessly, and without fear. This began multiple projects with Dolphin Assisted Births that spread worldwide. No, it didn't. This is not real. This isn't real at all. This is just another one of those weird random misinfo posts that seem to spread around that are just not rooted in fact in any way. The idea that the dolphins, 1, moved everyone away and took over as midwives. No. 2, scanned her body with sonar. That's not... And that just meant she gave birth effortlessly. This was written by a man, obviously, but that's not... Dolphin births are not a common thing. People aren't doing these. Me, the camera's focusing on the background again. People aren't doing these. This isn't a common thing. This hasn't spawned dolphin births across the world. And also, dolphins are assholes. I would not trust them anywhere near a baby. The second you give birth, you know what's gonna happen? The dolphin's gonna snatch the baby and eat it. They're actually like horrible animals. This didn't happen and this isn't happening. This is... What the like, oh man, but that's where I'm gonna end the video. I did have more posts saved, but I really don't have the energy for them after that one. I'm sorry. What was that? If you would like to support me in making more content like this, then I have a Patreon in the description down below. Or equally, you can click on that join button on the channel to support me. It helps a lot more than you might realize, but by no means should you feel like you have to. I'm going to keep making content regardless. Oh, a huge, massive special thank you to all of the wonderful YouTube members and patrons that do support me. However, all of your names are on screen right now. It genuinely helps so much, and it genuinely means so much. So thank you to everybody that does, genuinely. Other than that, thank you so much for watching, everybody. I hope you have enjoyed. And as always, I will see you in the next video. Peace out.